Hey legends, welcome back to my channel. It's Aqua and today we're going to do a collection tour for March 2025. I was going to do a collection tour at the end of last year, but that never happened. So here we are. My collection has changed quite drastically since my last collection tour at the start of last year. I'm in a new place, so the ponies have their own room. So here's a little overview of my shelves. I've got my main shelves on this side, then I've got my desk that sits kind of towards the window, and then on the other side we have my cube shelves, and as you can see I've got a little rainbow set up here that I absolutely love. So we're gonna start with all of my Schleich beans, and I do have to stand on a chair for this because, well, it's the top of my shelf. So anyways, on the end we have my two Shetland ponies. This is Milkshake and Punch. Then we have my little Fjord. This is Banner. Here we have Pepper and Chase. This is the riding pony and the Dartmoor stallion. Then we have my Appaloosa. This is Trust. Then we have my Tennessee Walker. So this is Copper. Then this is Harmony, who's my Hanoverian. We've got my two paint horses. So this is Lightning. He's actually the first model that I ever got. So he has a very special place in my collection. Then next to him is Adagio. Then we have my Mustang stallion. This is Apache. We've got my Frisian. This is Midnight. Then we have my two Hanoverians. This is Ranger. And then this guy is actually a custom that was done by Whirlwind Model Horses. His name is Akatsuki. Just here we have my two Percheron stallions. This is Chris, who was painted by Night Sky Studio, or is it Night Sky Arts? I can never remember. Then next to him is Dante, who was painted by Breyside Farms, I believe. This is my Connemara mare. This is Mocha. Then we have Comet, who's the Nabstrap stallion. We've got Whirlwind, who's the Andalusian stallion. Then we've got Paris, who's the Dark Forest mare. We've got Wonder, who's the Hanoverian mare. Then we have Zeva, who's actually a resculpt by Jonas Varoma and was painted by King Zorg. He's really, really pretty. I do really love Zeva. Next we have my Tennessee Walker mare. This is Violet. Then we have Cloud, who's my Morgan stallion. I think he's a Morgan, but a lot of people say he's a quarter horse, so I don't know. Then on the very end we have Aurora, my Mustang mare. Right underneath all the Schleich ponies we have the second biggest conga in my collection. It's my Stone Foundation quarter horse conga. So starting off we have Yamato, also known as the Brindled Bandit. I believe he was designed by Infinity Breyers and released as like an Art of the Horse run, I'm pretty sure. Next we have Texas. He's just a regular run, DAH kind of thing, yeah. Then we have Neji. This is Taro. Next to them we have Sai, who's a beautiful glossy bay Overo. Then we have Daniel, who's sporting a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Across here we have Bacardi. He's a body, so I'm probably going to end up customizing him at some point. Next to him we have Kakashi, and then Okino, who is probably one of the most limited edition models I have in my collection. There's only 6 of them made worldwide, and I was so lucky to get the very last one. I'm pretty sure it was during the Art of the Horse or Equilocity, so that was really, really cool. Then next we have, oh, what's your name? Macaroni. His name's Macaroni. This is Macaroni, everybody. And then next to him we have Lloyd and Voltaris. Next we have my Santa Fe Morgan conga. This is one of my favorite molds from Stone. So on the very end here we have Jay. This is Seiji. Here we have Obito. He's one of my newer ones. This is Wakanda. He's so cute. Look at that face. Look at that face. We've got Rico here, who's also one of my new guys. This is Iruka, who's a very fancy guy. Like, he's so cool with that marking, and like his face is so pretty. I love his blue eyes too. Next we have Aizawa, who's actually Neptune from Conquering Tides. I've been wanting this guy for a very long time, so I'm very happy that I managed to get one. Next to him we have my one-of-a-kind Stone Morgan. I am so obsessed with this guy. This is Shiro. There's only one of him made in the whole like world, so he's very special, and I love his snip and his star. It's very cute. And then very lucky last we have Cody, who I believe was a Christmas special run. I can't remember, but he's really cool. Next we have some very chunky beans over here. So this is my Georg Conga. We've got Vendel just here, who's the original Premier Club model. And then this is Azerock, who is a Breyers special run. Next we have the Marinefol Gypsy Vanna set. I'm obsessed with this mold, by the way, just in case you couldn't tell. I want every single color on this mold. Molds, plural, yep, because there's two. So we've got the original Premier Club set just here. This is Remy. I decided to keep her name that way because it's really cute. And then this is her mummy. This is Tamari. I'm obsessed with this model. She's so pretty. Next we have two customs that were done by Sugar Sweet Studios on Instagram. This is Himawari. She's a blue roan. And then this is her mum. This is Shizune, who's a bay roan. And then here we have the two Breyer special runs from last year. This is Trigger, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's what I named you. And then this is Mirko, and she's so gorgeous. Like, her shading is so rich, it's incredible. Moving down, we have a couple more of my stones. These are my two bunnies, and honestly, I need more. I need more bunnies. This mold is so freaking adorable and so chunky. I love it. So this is Fifi, my ambassador model from Stone. There's only two of them made, and she's absolutely gorgeous. Next to her is Tsunade. I believe she was a Loyalty Club model for Peter Stone. I can't remember off the top of my head. Next we have one of my resins. This is Icarus. He's a Nightly Cadence resin, and he was painted by Sue Kern-Thompson of Sakori Studio. He's really cool. Next we have my two Nakoda models. So this is Bakugo, who was painted by Deb Brown. I just am obsessed with the amount of detail that's on him. He's so cool. And then one of my absolute massive holy grails, I still can't believe I own this guy. This is Moon Warrior. I call him Makek, and he is a connoisseur exclusive, yeah, web special kind of thing. He's really, really fancy. I'm obsessed with him. He's so cool, so I'm really happy that I have him in my collection. Next we have this little resin here. This is Whirlwind. I call him Dexter. He was painted by my good friend Rengalade on Instagram. He's really cute. I love him. Like, look at his dopey face. Oh my goodness, look at that. Anyway, next we have two of my foals. This little girl just here is Lily. She was customized by Deb Brown, and this is her best friend. This is Ivana. She's an Elizabeth resin. She was painted by Sue Kern-Thompson of Sakori Studios, so they're really cute together. On the next shelf we have all of my favorite resins and a couple of my Albarozos. So I am obsessed with this shelf. This girl over here is Azula. She is the Stromness resin, and she was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios on Instagram. Like, look at this face. She has a face mutation, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, it is so cool, and she's got all of this speckling as well all over her body. She's so fancy, and I'm absolutely obsessed with how she turned out. Like, she's even got a brown and a blue eye. Like, look at that. How cool is that? The next model we have is Momoshiki. He's on the Encanto resin, I believe. He was painted by Karen Zorn, and he's also a really fancy flea bitten grey. He's so cute. Look at that face. Look at him. He's so adorable. Moving on, we have my Uko resin, who was painted by Marine from Sabbath's Door on Instagram. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, so I do apologize. He is so cute. His name is Unagi. He has the biggest snip in the world. I think a lot of people have realized that I love horses with snips. So yeah, he's really cool. Really happy with him. Next we have this little micro mini that I actually ended up getting from the live show that I just went to. Her name is Blue Bottle. I believe she's on the Emma micro, sculpted by Maggie Bennett, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm still trying to figure out who she is and where she, you know, came from, who she's painted by. So anyway, she's really adorable. I'm really happy that I got her. Then next we have Satori, who's on the Venti D'Artagnan resin, and he's so cool. Kind of hard to tell, but you can see he's got like incredible detailing going on here. He was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios, and I was actually surprised that I got him in the leftover sale for Breyerfest last year. I did see him on the table at Breyerfest in the Clarion, but I couldn't justify spending as much as I did in one go, so I was really thrilled to get him in the leftover sales and on time pays too. Next we have my Hazel conga. Now this was kind of an accidental conga, if I'm being honest. I wasn't expecting to get all of these so suddenly. So this is Ahsoka. I am unsure who she's painted by. I still need to figure that out. This is Harley, who was painted by Mitten Lake Studio. And then this one is Asami, who I also don't know who was painted by, so yeah. Behind them we have my two Albarozos. This is Iolia, who was painted by Danielle Dunn, I believe. And then this is my original Albarozo. This is Moriboshi. He's really cool. And then on the very end we have my Sterling resin, who was painted by Angelica Vincenzo, I believe. Oh my god, I am so sorry. He's really cool. Like, look at his bloody shoulder. It is so awesome. I love the amount of detail that he has too, so yeah, he's a very fancy dude. Moving down, we have my Fireheart conga, and I am obsessed with this Breyer mold. I need more, clearly. So this is Bolin. He was the Breyer Collector Club exclusive. I can't remember from what year. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but he's really cool. This is Mojave. I don't have a name for him yet because I haven't decided whether I want to keep him or not. Next we have Saya. He's the original Premier Club model. Then we have Bruno, who's a Breyerfest exclusive. Here we have Toshinori, who was actually a custom that I got during Breyerfest last year from Sugar Sweet Studios. He is packed full of detail, like so packed full of detail. He's got mapping on all of his markings. His shading is gorgeous. He has the coolest little lip going on there. His eyes are so pretty, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like cracking in his hooves as well, which is just so freaking cool. I love it. So that's Toshinori. And then on the very end here we have Naofumi, who was the Breyerfest online exclusive from last year. He's so cool, and I'm obsessed with the marking that's on his other side. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but yeah, there's a marking on his other side, so he's not just a roan, in case you didn't know. And then down here we have Lorelei. She was the Premier Club stablemate from last year, and she's so adorable. I think I need more because she's just so cute. Alright, moving on. We have a couple more of my Breyers and two stones on the end here. So this is a custom that was painted by EA Studios. His name is Flash. He's actually a portrait of a horse that I used to ride, so that's really cool. This is Kanan, who was a connoisseur model. I can't remember from when. I think it was like 2008, maybe? Next we have my two Vermeer models. So this is Hizadukes, and this is Ezra, who's wearing a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Next we have my Stone Thoroughbred. This is Landon. He's also wearing a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. And then on the very end we have Sherlock, who has the coolest face marking. Like, check that out. How cool is that? Now on the very bottom shelf just here, well, it's not the very bottom, but it's like the bottom of where all the models are, I've got all of my unpainted resins and project ponies. So these will be models that I'll either sell or keep at some point. I don't know when. This guy over here was a resculpted Othello that was done by Jonas Varoma. I still haven't finished painting him. It has been well over 3 years since I got him, I'm pretty sure, so that's pretty sad. Hopefully I will get around to finishing him at some point. My goal this year is to paint my own personal models instead of just doing commissions, because that's all I seem to do, really. Anyway, I've got a Dundee resculpt here that I'm really looking forward to painting. I got a Prairie Rose resin that I ended up buying from the show last weekend, and I wasn't supposed to buy any models, but I ended up buying her. I got this guy, and then I also got the little micro, so I totally failed at not buying anything at the show. And then just here I got this cool little medallion as a prize for the show that I went to. It's really cool. So it was actually sculpted by Vincent from Da Vinci Creations, and we actually saw him at the show. He was visiting Australia for an extended trip, and he actually came to the show and judged quite a few classes. I got to have a chat with him too, which was so cool. So yeah, I got that and I can't wait to paint it. I've got this Smutty Jones resculpty thing going on here that I'm gonna eventually work on. I've got this little resin that had a little fall, so she needs a fix up. Sadness, she's really cute. Then I've got this Flash resin. He actually has a resculpted mane and tail, so I'm really excited to either fix him up or repaint him into something new. Then I've got this little fjord that's just chilling, and this guy has a couple of resculpting issues, so I need to fix them up and then either fix up his paintwork or completely redo him, so we're just gonna do that. Scooting along, sorry, I'm just on the floor right now. These are all of my unpainted resins. More than likely I will keep all of these in my personal collection, but we'll see. So in the back there we've got my ankle biter who was sculpted by Raven Maddock, I believe. We've got a Bram resin here. I have no idea who sculpted him. This is my Wayne resin who was sculpted by Sue Kern-Thompson of Sakori Studios. We've got my little crow, which you guys would have seen in my unboxing video recently. He is sculpted by Leviathan Studio. We've got, I think it's Molestro. I have no idea what you are. We've got Kazi Ken just here who was sculpted by Amanda Brock, I believe. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember who sculpted majority of these. I apologize. I've got my mini braided Lola just here, and then I've got my traditional long mane tail variation Lola just there as well. We've got my Shilbert, I've got a Scotty resin, I've got my Thunderbutt who has a resculpted tail, which is really cool. And then I've got my Booster resin who was sculpted by Sue Kern-Thompson. I do also have these couple of models sitting on the very, very bottom shelf because I am trying to sell them. So this is Loki. He was painted by Julia Starren. He's on the Fritz resin. He is really pretty. I won't deny that. I am seriously considering taking him off my sales because he's just so precious. And then I've got Switchback and Turnpike, which actually are two resins that come in a pair. They were both painted by Nomad Horses. And then this guy is Catullus, who's a Nakota custom that was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios. Moving on to the other side of the room, we've got just this shelf full of miscellaneous ponies that I just didn't know where to put, really. Over here, we've got Tracer, who's wearing a costume that was done by Infinity Breyers. This is Gascon. He was one of the Breyerfest special runs, or no, wait, store specials from last year. His name is Mitski. He's really cute. This is Lucy, a Premier Club model. We've got my two gazelles, or Giselles, however you want to pronounce it. This is Callista, and then here we have Daya, who's wearing a very fancy costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Next to her, we have Dawn, who's also wearing a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Then we have Luca, who's just chilling. He's really cute, by the way. Next we have my two fjords, or sport ponies. I don't even know what the mold is anymore. So this is Kushina, who was a Breyerfest special run, I believe. Is that right? Yes, I'm pretty sure that's right. And then here we have Sienna, who was the Premier Club release of the model. Yeah. That's right. Don't judge me, guys. My brain's not working properly today. This is Excalibur, who's also a Premier Club model. By the way, this shelf just here is just all Premier Club models, so I'll just say that now. This is Excalibur. Next to him, we have Redestro. He's really cute. This is his mummy. This is Miko. She's actually not too bad for a reverse dappled. I mean, Breyer hasn't tried many of them, and I had a feeling it was going to be pretty bad because, you know, Breyer trying to replicate a resin paintwork onto a original finish model doesn't usually translate very well, so I'm actually impressed that she turned out quite alright. Moving on, we have Itsuki. He's the Welsh pony. He's really adorable. I can't wait to get more on the mold and even paint one. Next, we have probably the newest Premier Club model that I own. This is Cruiser. And then next to him, we have Tinen, who's the Aquatique. He's also pretty fancy. I love his blue eyes. They're a little bit creepy, but he's really cool nonetheless. And then here we have Pico, who's kind of just, actually no, it's Hank. Pico's Hank. I named him after my favorite storm chaser, Pico's Hank, and his actual name's Hank. So yeah, he's the Bristol Premier Club model. He's really cool. Moving up, we have my Welsh ponies. So this is Ryan and her little foal Cameron. This is Euphoria, who's a Deb Brown custom. She's really cute. And next to her, we have Arista. On the next shelf, we have my Idicus Conga. Wow, I said that really weird. Idicus Conga. This is Wapiti. I call him Mahoa. He's wearing a very fancy costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Next to him, we have Nomad, who's actually the very first custom that I ever bought, so he's really special. He was painted by Waterfall Studios, by the way. Next to him, we have Mikey, or Michelangelo, whichever one you want to refer to him as. He was painted by Mac Studios. And then next to him is Reggie, who was painted by Rengalade. Now, next to them, we have my two American saddlebred foals, hackney foals, whatever you want to call them. This is Genora. And then here we have Macy, who's wearing a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers as well. And then here we have my three Tennessee walking ponies. This is Larissa, we've got Rayla, and then here we have Uraraka. On the end here we have my Geronimo custom, and this pretty little lady just here, this is Morelia. She's actually a resculpt with a Geronimo body and a Roxy head. She was resculpted by Salty Bronx Studios and was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios, so I'm really pleased with how she turned out. Next we have another resculpt that was done by EA Studios. Unfortunately, he was damaged like a bit in shipping. He's lost his ear, so I need to do a little bit of repair work on him, but he'll be alright once he's done. Next to them we have, this is Genji, who was painted by, oh my god, who were you painted by? Sukon Thompson of Sakura Studios. And then next to him we have Shikamaru, who was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios. Moving up, we have another one of my Peter Stones, as well as a random Carrick model, and then my Duende Conga. So here we have Ida. He's actually the portrait of Infinity Breyers' real horse Catcher, and I'm obsessed with him. He is so cool. I love all of his speckling. He's very pretty. Next we have Minato, who's the original Premier Club release on the Carrick mold. He's the matte variation because I believe he came in a matte and glossy split. He's wearing a costume by Infinity Breyers. Next we have my Duendes. So this is Kovu, who was painted by EA Studios on Instagram. He's really cool. I love his dapples and his color is so pretty. Next we have Tigrin, who was painted by Paint Pony Studios on Instagram. Then we have Lucan. This is Inquisitor, who was resculpted. Look at those braids. And he was painted by Amon Ridge Studios, who unfortunately is no longer in the community with us. And then here we have Angor. On the next shelf we have all of my ethereals, as well as a random mule slash donkey. I also got this guy at the show, and he needs a name. Or is it a she? No, it's a he. It's a he. It's a he, by the way. So if you have any name suggestions for this little guy, feel free to comment them below. Next we have my ethereal water. This is Thalius. We've got my ethereal wind, who I named Sen. Then we have this random custom that really needs to be redone. He's just staying this way until I finish filming, and he's wearing a costume that was made by Infinity Breyers. Next we have my ethereal earth, who I named Jax. Then we have my ethereal fire, who I named Zuko. I know, everybody who has an ethereal fire names him Zuko because Zuko is an amazing character. Then on the very end we have Legacy, who was one of my first customs in my collection. He was painted by Waterfall Studios. He was my mascot for a very long time, so he will not be going anywhere. Next to them we have my Othello Conga. So here we have Joji, who was a Collector Club exclusive from last year. He's really cool, by the way. I am obsessed with his color. Like, Breyer, you need to do more colors like this because he is so freaking gorgeous. Next we have Alvin, who was a flagship model from several years ago. I can't even remember how long it's been. Next to them we have one of my pride and joys. This is Sasuke, also known as Rainier. He is a web exclusive, I believe. I don't know how many there are. I think there's like just over 300 in the world. So I'm so happy that I managed to achieve this guy, the biggest holy grail in my entire collection. And then next to them we have my Clydesdales slash, what else are they called? I can't remember what the mold's called. Anyway, this is Saka. He was a Breyer exclusive. And then next to them we have Marcus, who I also believe was a flagship model. And then this is Hunk, who was a Christmas horse, believe it or not. He looks really fabulous without his tack on. Alrighty, moving up, we have the biggest conga in my collection. This is my absolute favorite Breyer mold. It's the Dundee mold, if you couldn't tell. It's really hard to resist any models on this mold, so yeah. I do have 2 more on the way, by the way. So, on the very end here, we have Charlemagne, aka Charlie for short. He was painted by EA Studios. We've got Christoph, who I believe was a Collector Club exclusive. Next to him we have Alaska, who was a Breyers surprise run. Next to him we've got Iki, who was painted by Lightning Leo on Instagram. Next to them we've got Takahiro, who was a custom painted by Deb Brown. Next is Splinter, who is a beautiful bay that was painted by Amarang Studios. Next we've got Kai, who was a Breyerfest special run, or was it a store special? Store special, that's right, store special. Next to him we have Athena, or I like to call her Raptalia. She was the Breyerfest celebration model for last year. Then we've got Fox, who is a glossy appreciation model, I'm pretty sure that's right. He's the glossified version of this guy, who I named Ingressus. He's also wearing some costume bits. Yep, he's wearing a costume by Infinity Breyers. Next to them we have 2 more variations of the surprise model. So this is Fanta, he's the matte variation, and then this is Fox. Yes, your name is Fox. He's the glossy variation. Next to him we have Kaiju, who I believe was a regular run, I think. Then we have one of my customs. This is Jiraiya, who was painted by Bits and Breyers on Instagram. Here is Peaches, who was painted by Sugar Sweet Studios on Instagram. We have another variation of the surprise horse. Oh my god, I can't talk. This is Jumanji. Then we have the original Premier Club model. This is 4. He's really, really pretty. Here is Itadori. He was a flagship special, I believe. Then we have 2 more variations of the surprise horse. This is the matte variation. His name is Asuma. And then on the very end, his name is, oh my god, what did I name you? Suman, I believe. He's the glossy variation, and there is a huge difference in their colors. Like, look at that. So freaking cool. So that is my collection for March 2025. I am so sorry it took so long for me to get this out. I've just had so much going on, and I apologize that I sound quite funny in this video. I do have a bit of a dry throat, so yeah, I hope my voice doesn't sound too bad in this video, but I really hope you enjoyed seeing my collection. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe to my channel. Check out my Instagram at aqua.models, and I will see you in my next video. Stay legendary.